Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a Grand Soda Minimum update. Tuesday, January 8th at midnight. Don't fright. Check out the GFS model. It's looking insane. 24 hours, 48 hours, and then a storm starts to build at the beginning of the weekend in the center of the country, moving to the east. And those that have been complaining they've been left out of the flow since October should get clobbered. We're talking about the entire Appalachian Belt, all the way through South Jersey. A swath of 14 inches of snow for several hundred miles. There will be piles. Before that, we have a second system moving into the Sierras and the Pacific Northwest, as well as British Columbia, and they will be pummeled. Keep calm, it's boom time. What a dump! Storm brings massive Sierra snowfall. We'll take a look. A fierce winter storm pummeled the North Sierra over the weekend, burying ridge tops around the Tahoe Basin in more than 3 feet of snow in a 48-hour period. Caltrans reported whiteout conditions on roadways throughout the Sierra Nevada Sunday into early Monday, which wasn't a fun day, creating major delays for those traveling over the mountain range. Both westbound and eastbound I-80 closed and reopened early Monday. Snowfall reached elevations as low as 3,000 feet in the Sierra foothills, with Pacific House and Highway 50 recording an inch. Skiing was off the hizzook and amazing in the backcountry yesterday, wrote a message in SF Gate. Almost worth the 5-hour drive to stay alive. Let's check the totals. Please. Checking totals. Froze up. Completely. And that's a boom to freezing up. Here are the totals. Through your 8 a.m. Monday, January 7th, 2019, Alpine Meadows had a 48-inch explosion. And if you look at 1, 2, 3, all 13 mountains here, it's only 12. All 12 mountains, 2 feet, 18 inches in Heavenly, but 2 or more in 11 mountains, 2 to 4 feet in 3 days. 2 to 4 feet, Al, you prick. Get in your hole. What a D-bag. Windy winter storms expected to douse Bay Area and deliver more snow right up the Sierra's foothills. Dark clouds hang over the Bay Bridge in San Francisco, California, January 5th. And a large storm Tuesday is expected to pummel the region with another round of heavy rain, chance of thunder boomers, and more precipitation in the form of global warming goodness in the mountains. Sunday's storm dropped 1.28 inches on San Fran, 1.2 in Oakland, 2.5 in Santa Rosa. Surf advisory in effect Tuesday, 9 p.m. Wednesday. Breaking waves 18 to 24 feet will suck you away into the Pacific. The wet weather will subside briefly Wednesday night and Thursday morning before another rain and windstorm will kick up in the Bay Area, and it will get even scarier. We're about to check the totals when we get to the model. Wind to move across western Washington. They forgot to say snow. That's what all the blue and yellow stuff is. 1 to 2 inches in Hurricane Ridge, and check out the totals here. 12 to 18 in Paradise, 8 to 12 Snoqualmie. Probably gorgeous in Stevens Pass. Kiss my. The wind is returning to western Washington after reports of lowland snow. The National Weather Service in Seattle issued a wind advisory in effect Tuesday, 6 a.m., Wednesday, 6 a.m. for the East Puget Sound lowlands. Watch out for the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, including Euclid Mall, Black Diamond, North Bend, and Gold Bar. Forecasters say strong winds will develop Tuesday morning and persist into Tuesday evening. Expect winds 25 to 35. Puget Sound Energy says 25,000 customers are without power. That's the power of the wind. And that is an Al Gore boom. Oh, wait for it. It's delicious. Oh, that's taking too long. Keep calm. It's boom time. Snowing in Washington. We're freezing up. It's because of that jiffy. Holy spliffy. Do we even have it? Hello? We'll get to it. Snow will make for slippery conditions Tuesday morning, according to this guy that keeps going in circles. Yeah. That's the Boston area. Puxtawny, Williamsport, Providence, Hartford, Springfield. Heads up. Snow coming your way, Boston. Commuters may face slippery drive Tuesday morning as some light snow is expected to sprinkle across most of the state as this old dude goes back and forth pointing at the blue stuff. Yes, it's true. The precipitation will follow a sunny but cold Monday. The cold air is going to set the stage for this. A little band of snow that's going to work its way in overnight, said Storm Team 5 meteorologist Cindy Fitzgibbon. Yeah, Fitzgibbon. I'm sorry I mispronounced that. It's the easy one, Fitzgibbon. You've never heard of a Fitzgibbon? They fits right in the box that Gibbon's coming. Fitzgibbon said the burst of snow won't bring much accumulation. 2 to 4 north of Orange, 1 to 2 in Lawrence, coating Providence, and east towards Hartford. That's west. Holy. Most of the region can expect a coating of 1 inch of snow before the precipitation transitions to rain, with higher totals in the Merrimack Valley, North Worcester, and New Hampshire. How am I supposed to say that? Worcester, whatever. The first flakes will arrive overnight, but they won't last long. Smoke a bong. As the wind shifts around the south tomorrow, it's going to warm up temperatures, Fitzgibbon explained. Any snow is going to change into rain, which will be a pain. There will still be winter weather advisories from Worcester to Worcester to Orange and down into Springfield near Lee. Take a look at your future cast. It's looking moist, which is really good if you're a pound cake. Snow and ice to sweep through northeast U.S. on Tuesday. That's your lose day. A storm will barrel across the northeastern U.S. with periods of snow, rain, and icy mix, perhaps thunder, snow, and other crap on Tuesday. The snow and ice area managed to set up to the east of Detroit. Yeah, the Motor City is going to miss it. Where the majority of the winter storm will affect the northeast, especially New Hampshire, Vermont, in Maine. It may be insane. There'll be a hellish mix throughout PA and most of New York. Slippery roads, sidewalks, and travel delays Monday night. Isn't that right now? Motorists along Interstate 76, 78, 80, 86, and 90 are now totally fluxed, according to this article. Unsettled through your Tuesday, which will be your lose day up in Maine, New Hampshire. If you're up there, despair. It will be unsettled, and you will crash and burn and be slippery. Before the changeover, the Tuesday morning commute could therefore be slower and more hazardous in much of the Northeast as the milder air pushes in, push up from D.C. Pushing it in. Its temperatures will be dropping as the week continues and as the computer freezes up. It's amazing. Oh, we just disappeared. There we are. Holy sh! What's going on? Something crazy is happening. Power surge. Boom! Heads up! I love it when a plan comes together. It is boom time. Keep calm warning. Extreme cold temperatures coming to Montreal. Du hast ein kleines Schniedelwurzeln. Wait a minute, that was German. We're talking about Frenchies. And they're freezing their arse off. It's not really a surprise. Ow, did you hear that? It's not a surprise. Get in your hole. You can already feel the cold front in the frigid air this morning. It's currently minus 14. It's delicious. Boom! Swimming. Let's go swimming. Well, I'm swimming in it. It's delicious. Put the lotion in the basket. I have bad news for you this morning, Montreal. It's actually going to get colder. Temperatures are going to drop as the week goes on. And it's currently minus 14, but actually feels like minus 18, which means it'll be colder than minus 18, and that's pretty cold. Yep. Have a great day at work. I hope they have heat. Gobble, gobble. Let's run the model. Holy macaroni. Here she comes. There she goes. The models will change, and nobody knows. But there certainly will be epic snows. And that is a ho-ho-hos. Heads up. Large ice pancake forms on Cold River in Bremer, Scotland. An unusual circle of ice has been spotted on the Aberdeenshire, Scotland, amid sub-zero temperatures. The phenomenon known as an ice pancake was last seen last week at the River Dee near Bremer, where temperatures plunged to a cousin-hugging, negative 10.5 C. Hey. Here we could see tiny people flocking across the frosted fields to see the gigantic pancake. Either that or they were really f***ing hungry. And that looks delicious. The Met Office called the rare occurrence in Scotland a giant pancake, adding they were mostly found in the Baltic Sea around Antarctica, where other people flocked to the shore because they look delicious. Yes, it's true. There's video footage, but we haven't downloaded it, so it will never play. Never. BBC Scotland weather forecaster and presenter Anne London said ice circles are slowly rotating discs of ice that look almost like frozen lily pads. It's amazing because they're circular and pancake-like. And then you can just dive into them. Because they're delicious, but put syrup on, and that's a boom. Keep calm. Ice pancakes. Nothing to see here. Forming in Scotland, which is now the new Antarctica. What the? This computer is not doing anything right now. Stuck on the large ice pancake. Holy! Look at this guy. European weather pattern generates feet of snow. We're not talking inches. You have to add them up in groups of 12 to get to these amounts. Yes, European weather pattern generates feet of snow, coastal flooding, even mid-east snow/dust. Snow dust. A sharp plunge in the jet stream has been having a major impact in parts of Europe, even though Al Gore is hiding in his hole, putting the lotion in the basket since New Year's Day. Feet of snow have buried the Australian Alps and Alpine mounts of Italy. Snow has also fallen in Greece, Turkey, and Lebanon. Oh God, Lebanon with a little provolone on a good hard bread with some mayonnaise. It sounds delicious right now. This pattern also triggered major Baltic Sea coastal flooding. Totally fluxed. Check out the storm-tide cars sitting in the harbor in Wismar, Germany. Let's check it out. I pushed the button, you freaks. Do it. Look at that. It's probably copyright. We have to pay for it now. Isn't that a bummer? Skiers make their way through the streets after heavy snow in the small village of Fitzmoose, Austria. Fitzmoose, much? Al, get over here. Get out of your hole. Come look at this. You have to crawl. Yeah? Come on, get over. Look, take a look. This is Fitzmoose. You know what that means? Get back in your hole. It's true. Check out the streets of Pesco, Costanzo, Abruzzo. Ciao, bene. Look at this guy. That's a person right there. And that guy, we can't even open this picture. But this is going to be the cover. Let's open the link. Let's do it. We're going to do it together. We're going to share the European Grand Solar Minimum Italian style. And we're also going to be covering production likely to dip 25%. Grape production in Nashik, the grape capital of India, is likely to dip by 20 to 30%. The area was affected with extreme cold conditions that have nothing to do with global warming or any of the stupid predictions that have failed up to 500% for the last several decades. And in fact, we're now headed into a cooling period that everyone knows about, which is why I have 3 different heaters blowing on me in different directions and just paid hundreds of dollars for extra wood because I didn't prepare properly. State Agricultural Department sources said. Let's check the GFS model once again, just to believe it. Holy macaroni. I think we should all go swimming. Oh, meltdown. Man, yes, CIA, we know you're listening. Pisco, Costanzo, Abruzzo, Boomo! Boom! Holy macaroni. This is my uncle Joseph Mauriello. He is in charge of clearing the small channel in this alley. Holy shit. Thank you, Uncle Charles or Joseph, whatever your name is that I made up. State Agricultural Department sources said that in India, the mercury hovered below 6 Celsius for a considerable period of time. Enough time that production will likely dip. Are you picking it up? I'm dipping it down. We just dipped in it. Full dipping. And we're not tripping. We are showing you the seismic update because we're downloading the last page that we need to show you. Fortnight of extreme chill takes toll on rabi crops. More Indian nightmare. Times of India, city, Pune. The winter chill has only compounded the worries of the farmers already struggling with a shortage of irrigation water, and they're sitting in gigantic nooses. It's insane. We should all go swimming. Yes. I don't know why they're sitting in those big nooses. That is crazy. Damage already done. While the threat of a new cold wave seems to have passed, the standing rabi crop fields across several districts in the state have already been hit. Well, how did they get hit? Chilling injuries, not global warming injuries. Get in your hole. That is my last piece of bunt cake, Al. Frost injuries, injuries caused by freezing temperatures, which lead to ice formation on plant tissues. And many of you global warming alarmists are going to need extra tissues. So you don't want those being damaged. Seismic update, no quakes of note, except the world is ringing at a moderate level, thankfully. Big booms coming soon. Planchon Petaroa volcano ash to 15,000 feet today. That's not all. And that's in Chile. And I'm getting hungry. I've got some really good Manam volcano, continuous volcanic ash coming right now. I didn't see this earlier. Holy macaroni. New volcano to add to the list. Also today, Fuego, Popo, Chivaluch, Ducono, Reventador, Torrealba, Cleveland. Chivaluch erupting again today. This is 5 out of the last 6 days. Sabancaya to 29,000 feet. That is stratospheric levels. You're not going to hear that on the mainstream, but that just blew off today as well. 16,000 feet. Fuego blowing off. You've heard of that one. Yeah, lots of people missing because of that volcano. Reventador, volcanic ash. Ducono, continuous ash. Torrealba. Other things. Cleveland. Alert level lowered. Whew. Wow, we could use some good news. Stromboli exploding, more bad news. Etna, I see activity. I hope there isn't a catastrophic calving. Here you see the live stream of Stromboli down at the bottom right here at Roene's Vidz. And they have a live update, close-up cam of the most explosive activity coming up here on the top left. So come over here to Roene's Vidz and subscribe. Give them a thumbs up on their new stream. There's only 7 people here watching this. Holy shit. Holy shit. Only 7? You see, there's not these mods that let you curse here. It's amazing. I love this channel. You should too. Subscribe, like, and share. Tell them Diamond sent you. Deep, low frequency earthquakes indicate migration of magmatic fluids beneath La Chercy volcano. Hey, if you live in London, you may be... Yes. Magma could rise from the upper mantle into the middle and upper crust beneath the La Chercy volcano in Germany. Du hast ein kleines Schniedelwutzen? Nein! Du hast ein großes Schlong. If you speak German and know what I just said, I apologize. That was really uncalled for. The scientists present evidence of deep and low frequency earthquakes causing magma movements under the LeakCon volcano. If you guys don't know what this thing is, this is part of what we've been talking about. The end of the last ice age. And I don't even know how to say or pronounce this volcano. And I apologize. LeakCon, or Lake Lock in English, is a volcanic caldera with a diameter of 2 kilometers. Sitting in the northern area of this portion of Germany in the Rhineland-Palatinate, the LeakCon exploded with a volcanic explosive index of VEI 6. 12,900 years ago. Ho, ho, ho. The lake is oval-shaped, surrounded by high banks. The lava was quarried for millstones, including huge pumice deposits, which are quite nice to look at, actually. But won't be quite nice to look at is if this baby is part of the clock cycle, it is about to go off again. Those of you living in this area of Germany, you might be LeakCon-seeing something soon. Now, according to the scientific paper, they do not believe that any recent volcanic activity and the shift in large amounts of magma mean that this is going to erupt. That's exactly what that paper said. I'll leave you links to it. Now, the impact of the late glacial eruption of the LeakCon volcano, central Rhineland, Germany, is only one of hundreds of other events that happen at the same time. Recent discoveries of a huge crater on the northwestern coast of Greenland is directly related also to this event. Several other major erupting volcanoes and large supervolcanic calderas exploded at the same time. The Carolina Bays, 150,000 potentially impact-like structures across the east coast of the United States also formed at this same time. Sea levels rose 400 feet also at the same time, all but evaporating and eliminating 99.9% of the Clovis people living in North America, and essentially erasing all evidence of all of their civilization, which is estimated to be in the millions. And you weren't taught about it in school. No, no one was. And they're still not teaching it. They're not teaching about blue lava either. But we're going to look at it because it's totally fucking amazing. And I can't play the music because we'll get demonetized again. And I need that ad revenue because it continues to allow me to work a full-time job for actually getting paid, thankfully. Full screen is unavailable. But the lava is burning blue. And it has everything to do with temperature. This is an Indonesian volcano. One of the only ones on Earth that will be erupting now, moving forward, with blue lava. Kawah Yen has some spectacular blue lava at night. It's almost like the propane stove at the apartment I'm renting. It's that amazing. And I'm sure if you download the page, you can blow up the video. But I've wasted too much of your time. So let's talk about the worst time in history to be alive, according to science. And if you ask me, it's probably pretty bad too. I'm clicking on stuff so it downloads. And we don't black out anymore, like a snow diving boom to knowledge. But keep calm, it's still boom time. Now, Becky Little has this wonderful blog about a total eclipse of the sun that lasted for a year. Now, I want to give you a little preface to this. Many people thought this information was made up until scientific discoveries proved it to be true. And in fact, in the last several decades, almost all of mythology, what we called myth. Remember when you were in school, in grade school, in high school, in college, you were learning about myths? They're not real. They're just myths. These dumb people didn't know what they were, and they were making stuff up. It was funny. They're myths. Myths. The ninth plague of Egypt is one of those myths. And it included complete darkness that lasted for 3 days. In 536 AD, much of the world went dark for a full 18 months. If you don't know what that means, right-click on this and hit open link in new tab. Because that's a year and a half. In case you didn't know. As the mysterious fog rolled over Europe, the Middle East, and parts of Asia, the fog blocked the sun during the day, causing temperatures to drop, crops to fail, and people to die. It was, you might say, the literal Dark Age. Well, where did you think they came up with that definition, you idiots? It wasn't the Light Age. Why 536 was the worst year to be alive? Well, we're telling you right now. New researchers have discovered one of the main sources of that fog. Yes, and it was not Fukushima. It was not you. It was not man. It was not ExxonMobil. It was a volcanic eruption in Iceland in early 536. And we're predicting here at the Oppenheimer Ranch Project that the first of the major eruptions on Earth will start with Iceland. And it will cascade into Central America, Indonesia, and end in the Cascadia erupting from northern Canada south. Now, this major eruption of this Icelandic volcano was not necessarily extremely violent, but it was long-lasting, and the amount of material blasted into the atmosphere and stratosphere was unprecedented. So it must have been around VEI 5 or 6, at least. But it was of long duration. And the Byzantine historian Procopius wrote that the sun gave forth its light without brightness, like the moon during this whole year. He also wrote that it seemed like the sun was constantly in eclipse, and that during this time men were free neither from war nor pestilence, nor any other thing leading to death. Now, accounts like these weren't taken very seriously until recently. And a history professor at Harvard co-authored the antiquity paper about the late antique ice age. In that decade, researchers examined tree rings in Ireland and found that something weird did happen at 536. Summers in Europe and Asia became 35 degrees to 37 degrees colder than normal, with China even reporting summer snow. This late antique little ice age, as it is now known, came about when volcanic ash blocked the sun. Please come to this article and read more about the worst time in history to be alive, because we're headed into a similar time. If you're 40 or younger, you're in for it. Now, these catastrophes are predictable. Ancient societies knew about them. They've been warning us about them. The Sphinx is particularly positioned to warn us about cosmic catastrophe, as well as the pyramids and even Lascaux Cave, specifically denoting in constellations that have recently been unraveled as these not only being amazing depictions and amazing artistic works, but they are in fact extremely accurate astronomical models, as if the people that painted these were geniuses, well beyond us. Certainly didn't have landfills and need nuclear power plants. But this star pattern in Lascaux Cave here, painted 17,000 years ago, warns about the heart of the scorpion and is found to designate an important date at 13,865 BC, which would be 15,865 years ago. Now that could be the actual time that they were painting this, or they could be hinting at something different. Needless to say, the fact that people living 20,000 years ago had advanced astronomical knowledge of the precession of the equinoxes means they were advanced mathematicians, astrophysicists beyond reprise, and that everything you have ever been taught is a purposeful lie to stick a needle in your eye. Now, scientists have just discovered a new planet twice the size of Earth, and it could have liquid water on its surface. Take a look at the CGI. I mean, it's right here. The newfound planet K2 288b, illustrated here, is slightly smaller than Neptune. And it's singing the cosmic ray amazingness tune. Scientists have used data from NASA's Kepler Space Telescope to discover a new planet. It's twice as large as Earth. Kepler died in October 2018, 9 years after it was launched. The exoplanet called K2 288b is within its star's habitable zone, which means liquid water could exist. And they just make... oh, man, it's amazing. There's other life out there they don't want you to know, or they're about to tell us. NASA's Planet Finder discovers weird new world and 6 exploding stars. Huh. This is coming out today. They must watch the channel. They're now disclosing that all stars explode pretty regularly. NASA's Planet Hunting Telescope is making landmark discoveries at an astounding pace. And it is now confirmed a 3rd new planet and a handful of exploding stars. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. Stars explode. Holy crap. Hey, if you don't know about our Facebook resource, Solar Shutdown, that's me, Diamond, the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. I also have Plasma Geology, Oppenheimer Ranch, and many, many other social media sites that I've been running for years. All of the graphs and data, including the CMIP6, are here to get. You just click photos. It's that simple. And you can prepare now. Because according to the Zarkova mathematical modeling she has done, which has been over 97% accurate thus far, we're in for a doozy of the next 3 decades. And right here at Solar Max, here on this cycle, this is when the sun crusts up and novas. 2047, right there. Because of all this cooling of the sun, it crusts up. And then when the sunspots return in the activity, boom! That's when the shell blows. That's my final analysis. Yeah, I have a few more final analyses. Not enough of you have come over here to the Grand Solar Minimums Crazy Canuck and subscribed. Can we get this to 1,580, please? That means 1,000 of you out of 45,000 care about growing food. And he's doing it up in Alberta, where it's minus 30 every day.
Saskatchewan, Canada.
And he's got lettuce. And he's doing tests. And he's doing great work over at the channel. And if you live in Canada and you can't buy stuff from our Preparedness store, he sells stuff right below all his videos. So if you're in Canada and you're looking for Anita Bailey's Cold Times, you want to help out the Grand Solar Minimum community, buy the book. Buy a heat cable. These are cables you put in the soil to keep your soil temperature up for your indoor grow. Buy a refractometer. If you don't know what that's for, he explains how to use it and how to grow food. He also is talking about Hidden Harvest Grow Lights. That's Bug Out Brad's new company. And he's using his lights to grow food at minus 30. Please subscribe to the channel. Give him a thumbs up. And let's get this to 1,580. If there's anything you want to do for the channel, you don't have money, you can't donate, you're poor, subscribe to his channel. It's good stuff. He shows you how to make biodiesel for pennies. Pennies. You just need a few chemicals and a few plastic jars, and you can go fars. LeakCon2019. Guess who may be coming? Doug Vogt. The myth, the man, the legend. With all of his books and all of his theories, we're flying him into LeakCon 2019. And we're going to be recording some amazing interviews just as soon as he figures out how to use Skype. We're going to walk him through it. He's been around for a long time. Skype is... he needs to keep calm. So now we're going to have our own cosmic catastrophe roundtable discussion both days. It's going to close the event both days. All appropriate speakers that have something to add to the Cosmic Catastrophe Roundtable will be involved, including Doug Vogt, Diamond, Greg Allison will be there, John D'Souza, Rex Bear, Leak Project, Adrian D'Amico, Suspect Sky. Even Bill the geologist. Ice Age Farmer, Lee Wheelbarger, Laird Scranton, and I think he believes in global warming. Everyone's invited. You see, because scientists can get along and disagree, because that's how it's supposed to be. There is no such thing as consensus, or science wouldn't happen. Our theories continue to evolve daily. We move forward. The information that supports our theory moves us forward. If it does not support the theory, we need to start over with a new hypothesis to come up with another theory. Mainstream science is not aware of this process. You will be aware of it at LeakCon 2019, where cutting-edge science will happen before your very lives. Tickets still on sale, 20% off, 60 VIP slots left, and we want you to come and get the free weed. Proper prior planning prevents piss-poor performance. Learn to grow food. Learn to stockpile dry goods. Learn to shoot a weapon. Self-defense is key into the times we are entering. We're not here to scare you. We're here to prepare you. Guns, butter, and bullets. Do it. We love you. Be safe. And that's a boom.